meeting on Tuesday, April the 3rd, 2018. We appreciate everyone coming. It's a big night. We've got a lot to celebrate, a lot of retirements, a lot of several years of good hard work. And I want you to know before we even get into that, we appreciate y'all as commissioners. We know y'all endure a lot. You know, sometimes your job is very stressful. And don't ever take it lightly that we don't know to some degree what you do. We can't go all the way there because I'm sure y'all will correct us, but we respect you for what you do, and we're proud of each and every one of you, whether it's 1 year, 20 years, or 30 years. You are thought of, and we just want you to know, and I think I can speak for you for all these commissioners. We appreciate you 100%. Give our commissioners here a moment to sit down. But tonight, we have Preacher Hayes will be having our invocation, and we have 4-H'er Aubrey Swable will do our pledge for us. But Mr. Hayes, before you pray, sir, we'd like, Mr. Peters would like just a moment.
And if you would please stand. I think it's only fitting that we take a moment of silence for Miss Dorothy Ziegler, who's a county employee. And I also think it's fitting that we do a moment of silence for Chairman Britt's father that passed away. So Larry, if you would just do a few minutes and then you take off. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Father, with great honor, we come into your eternal presence tonight. We praise you for who you are and the way that you look out for Bladen County and all our employees. And Father, those that have gone on before us and set an example here in Bladen, that we can be and use them as stepping stones to make Bladen County a place of harmony, a place of fellowship, and a place of leadership. Father, we ask you to look down to all our employees, our departments, Father, and bless them according to your mercy and your will. We ask you to look to our commissioners tonight as they hear cases or whatever comes before them tonight, that they would make the decisions that you would have them. Father, we're proud of our commissioners, each and every one of them in their fields and the way that they labor. And Father, lead, guide, and direct them, and direct all of us that we might be pleasing in thine sight. And when life is over, you would give us and welcome us home. For these things we ask in Christ Jesus' name, and all of God's people. Amen.
Amen. Before we get Ms. Swable to do the pledge, I would like to say one thing, and it's maybe a 1-minute testimony, and I think we all need to hear this, and witness it and see it. On behalf of my dad, I want to share something with you. I was there 3 days last week. I worked 3 days and was there at night, so it was a strenuous time. But for a man that his kidneys had been shut down for days, and as of Tuesday, no sign of life, eyes not open, could not hear. Thursday at 6:17, keep in mind now, this man is considered really basically dead. For those who don't believe there's a God, and that your soul won't go to heaven, you need to hear what I'm going to tell you right quick.
Amen.
At 6:17, my dad's eyes popped open as big as a big marble. And his head went straight up, and his hands and palms went straight up to heaven. If he won't rapture, somebody's going to have to tell me something.
Amen.
God took that man to heaven, that soul, and that dead body just laid there. But I felt like we all need to hear that, because we need more of that today. And for those that don't believe, you can believe that, and there's a God in heaven looking at all those.
Amen.
My voice is the same. I'd like to take a minute. My mother passed December of 2017, and the same thing occurred to her. My mom had a bullet, and I appreciate all that people have done for me as well. But the same thing happened to her as well. And so I think she's in heaven as well. She was a great lady. She would have been 95 years old, April the 1st, but she lived a good life.
Before we do the pledge of allegiance, let's give God a great big hand. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Wade. You're a regular here. We appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
consent items, I would like to decline 7 and reschedule to the next meeting, please.
Motion to remove with tabling item 7.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? So moved. Have a motion to approve the consent items.
So moved. Second.
Got a first motion by Mr. Gooden, and a second, Mr. Cogdill. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Public hearing at this time. We'll open a public hearing to receive comments regarding a proposed text amendment to the Blaine County Flood Damage Prevention Ordinance. Do we have anybody, Madam Clerk? If no comments at this time, I declare the hearing closed on that. Can I get a motion to consider approving a text amendment to the Blaine County Flood Damage Prevention Ordinance?
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Dr. Mangorns, a second by Mr. Trigg. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? At this time, we would like to make a presentation of the National Public Safety Telephone Week proclamation, and I would like all the commissioners to go down and hope your legs are well, but we're gonna be in front of the crowd for a while tonight. Madam Clerk, would you read the proclamation for this short day?
Whereas over 500,000 dedicated men and women are engaged in the operation of emergency response systems for federal, state, and local governmental entities throughout the United States. And whereas these individuals are responsible for responding to the telephone calls of the general public for police, fire, and emergency medical assistance, and for dispatching said assistance to help save the lives and property of our citizens. And whereas such calls include not only police, fire, and emergency medical service calls, but those governmental communications related to forestry and conservation operations, highway safety and maintenance activities, and all other operations which the modern governmental agency must conduct. And whereas America's public safety telecommunicators daily serve the public in countless ways without due recognition by the beneficiaries of their services. Now therefore, the Board of Blaine County Commissioners does hereby proclaim beginning April the 8th through April 14, 2018 as the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. And this proclamation calls on the citizens of Blaine County to observe this week appropriately. Adopted this 3rd day of April, 2018.
Again, on behalf of the commissioners, we do thank each and every one of you for what you do. You know, you take a lot of time from your family, and you work hard. You do well, very well spoken, and we appreciate everything you do again. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, Child Abuse Awareness Month. Vicky Smith here also. There she
Whereas our children represent our greatest hope for the future, and Blaine County remains steadfast in its commitment to the safety and security of our children, families, and communities. And whereas every child is entitled to be loved, cared for, nurtured, and be free from verbal, sexual, emotional, and physical abuse and neglect. And whereas it is the responsibility of every adult who comes in contact with a child to protect that child's inalienable right right to a safe and nurturing childhood. And whereas Bladen County has dedicated individuals and organizations who work daily to counter the problem of childhood maltreatment and to help parents obtain the assistance they need. And whereas our communities are stronger when all citizens become aware of child maltreatment prevention and become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe and nurturing environment. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among families, social service agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. Whereas all citizens, community agencies, faith organizations, and businesses will work to increase their efforts to support families. Now therefore be it resolved that the Bladen County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims the month of April 2018 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month. The Bladen County Board of Commissioners commends this observation during April 2018, to the citizens of Bladen County, adopted this third day of April 2018.
It's an honor on behalf of the commissioners to present to you this proclamation. And we thank you and all your staff for everything y'all do, and the commissioners commend you for every effort that y'all do. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month is intended to draw attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and has public health implications for every community member of Bladen County. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment impact our community, as seen by statistics indicating that 1 in 5 women and 1 in 70 men will have experienced sexual assault by the time they complete college. And whereas we must work together to educate our community about what can be done to prevent sexual assault and how to support survivors. And whereas staff and volunteers of anti-violence programs in Bladen County encourage every person to speak out when witnessing acts of violence, however small. And whereas with leadership, dedication, and encouragement, there is compelling evidence that we can be successful in reducing sexual violence in Bladen County through prevention education, increased awareness, and holding perpetrators who commit acts of violence responsible for their actions. And whereas the Bladen County Commissioners strongly supports the efforts of national, state, and local partners, and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what sexual violence is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors connect with services, and how every segment of our society can work together to better address sexual violence. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Bladen County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim that April 2018 is Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Bladen County, and we join advocates and communities across the country in taking action to prevent sexual violence. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and each day of the year is an opportunity to create change for the future. Adopted this third day of April 2018.
And all the people that support you and help you, and we thank you for everything all you that you do.
Well, me and my director, thank you for helping us out.
All right, well,
Thank
thank you. We got it right here, Mr. Carter. She got these two of them. Miss Janet Miller. You know, before I present this, I had the opportunity, full ask to go down to DSS's office, and Miss Janet and I were looking at some stuff that they needed, and we had a good, probably good hour conversation. I lot about her, and I learned a lot about that office through her and the staff. And she commended the folks there very well, spoke very highly, and we talked about a lot of positive things. And I appreciate all the input she gave me, and most of all, I appreciate all the years of service she's done for Bladen County. And grateful appreciation to Janet Miller for dedicated service to the people of Bladen County as program manager, presented by the Bladen County Board of Commissioners, given this third day of April. Years of service, October 2001 to April 2018. It's an honor and a pleasure to present this to you, ma'am.
Janet came to us from Lee County, and I'm very thankful that she made the decision to come to Bladen County. Her husband was from Bladen County, and they chose to come back this way to care for relatives. Janet has been one of my right-hand ladies in the agency. We have had some good times. We've had times where we just didn't know which way we needed to go, but we were always able to put our heads together and come up with a plan. I told her in her retirement card, I just didn't know what DSS would be without her. But I want to thank Janet, but not only Janet, but her family. At DSS, a lot of people don't know that the social work side of the house, that's a 24-hour-a-day job. There's a lot of phone calls after hours, a lot of 3 o'clock a.m. hours. Janet's been included in those. So we just appreciate all that you have given to us and to our agency and to the residents and clients that we serve, Janet.
I did all my crying last week, so I'm very tonight. I'm glad I got it over with before, but I really do appreciate the opportunities I've been given here and the friendships that I've made, probably more importantly than anything. And I'm looking forward to setting up those lunch dates over the next few weeks so I can catch up on what's going on at home with all my peeps. But I really do appreciate the opportunities and look forward to continuing to work in the community in some other ways. And I thank my husband for putting up with me. Some days were frustrating. You know, some days we were happy and some days we just didn't, like Vicki said, we didn't know which way to go on some things. But hon, I sure appreciate your support as well over the past years. And I'm sorry, but I'm retiring from the kitchen too. I'm coming your way.
And he said we start interviews again in the morning, so you have time. Mr. Jeffrey Bridges. For this gentleman, before I read about him, I have to tell y'all, I sponsored a volleyball team for a few years. Almost yesterday, wasn't it? He's a good volleyball player, and I believe he can play today because he's maintained his shape. He really has. But we've always thought a lot of him so much. And grateful appreciation to Jeffrey Bridges for dedicated service to the people of Bladen County as captain of patrol, presented by the Bladen County Board of Commissioners, given the third day of April. Years of service, July 1988 to April 2018. Jeffrey, it's an honor and a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Well, Jeff Bridges came to Bladen County from Columbus County in 1988, and I came here from Greensboro in 1988. And I'll tell you, he's a solid person. He's very loyal to the sheriff's office, to the citizens of county, and to his family. He is a pleasure to work with. You know, Jeff, one of the kind of people nobody works for anybody. We all work together. And he will be greatly missed. He's a good guy, and he'll always have a home at the Bladen County Sheriff's Office. Congratulations.
Just a couple things. A couple times during my time here, I did went on a little hiatus, I guess you could say, and but I still stayed for one officer, and but I always came back home. So on behalf of myself, to my family, to the county, I thank you for everything you've done for me over the years, You've done a lot for me, and, been a great place to work. Thank you.
Miss Teresa McLean. Teresa's out of the DSS office as well. In grateful appreciation presented to Teresa McLean, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 5 years of dedicated service on this third day of April 2018. It's an honor and pleasure to present this to you. We appreciate it.
Teresa came to us from the operations area. She was part-time there as a county employee and had the opportunity to come to DSS. She started out in the clerical area. She did so well there. She applied for a position in Work First, and that is where she has made her home with us. And we're glad that she decided to come over to DSS to be a part of us. She's very committed and very dependable and works great with her clients, giving that great customer service. Appreciate it, Teresa.
If y'all didn't hear that, I'll share it with you. Ms. Smith said we have 108 years of service to be recognized tonight in DSS. And that's some strong numbers.
It's a lot of knowledge.
Yet a whole lot of knowledge. Did Sabrina Betso make it? Because earlier she said she couldn't come, but we do want to recognize her, even though she's not here for 10 years of service. And we appreciate her time. Sherry Dallas. In grateful appreciation presented to Sherry Dallas, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 15 years of dedicated service on this third day of April 2018. We thank you for your service and 15 years. We really appreciate it so very much.
Sherry came to us from the industrial area. She had been working with J.C. Pallet Company and other, Graff Brothers, and with other companies, and she decided to come to DSS, and she entered into her position, and that is where she has stayed for 15 years. She is our administrative officer. She helps me manage our budget. She's very efficient with the budget. I can ask for something, and this lady says, "Where are you gonna get that money from?" She keeps me straight. In my 5 years as director, she has helped to be the wind beneath my wings. And that means a lot, to have a person that I can depend on and I can trust. Sherry, I appreciate your service to the agency and the county. She makes sure that those county monies are spent wisely. Appreciate it.
Miss Lisa Allison. In grateful appreciation presented to Lisa Allison, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 20 years of dedicated service on this third day of April 2018. It's an honor and a pleasure to present this certificate to you, and we thank you for all your years of service.
She came to DSS in the income maintenance side of the agency, working with the benefits. She has done some social work. I had the opportunity to work with her when she was in Child Protective Services, protecting the children, and she is now in child support. making sure that the children are receiving monies that they deserve and to help them have a nice home and environment. I have to say that Lisa is very dedicated to her work. She takes ownership of it and is very accountable. Certainly appreciate your time with us, and we hope to have many, many more years with you. Appreciate it, Lisa.
Rhonda Cabriello. In grateful appreciation presented to Rhonda Cabriello, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for, again, 20 years of dedicated service on this third day of April 2018. It is an honor and a pleasure to present this to you, and as well as everybody with 20 years of service. This is unbelievable, but we thank you for everything that you have done, and I know that you will continue to do. And don't think about retirement anytime soon.
Rhonda came to us from the school systems, I believe. Is that where you came from? Some? In other counties. But she came back to Bladen County to make Bladen County her home. She worked in the income maintenance area with the benefits and then came over to social work. And currently she is working with Adult Protective Services, helping to protect one of our most valuable, vulnerable age populations within the county. Rhonda, too, I think it is an attestament to any of these workers that have these years of service with DSS. It shows their commitment to their work and shows the quality of their work. Rhonda is very committed and very dependable, I will have to say. She is one that you can call on, and she's on it as well. We certainly appreciate your time with us, and we hope to continue. Appreciate your work.
Maria Yvette Ross. In grateful appreciation presented to Maria Yvette Ross, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 25 years of dedicated service on this third day of April 2018. Again, we thank you for 25 years, and we appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Yvette came to us, to our agency, in a clerk typist position, and then advanced on to income maintenance. And currently, she is our computer systems administrator and front desk supervisor. Those two, just in a nutshell, is a large job. As many of you know, with the state systems, there are always changes, and with NCFAS coming on board to DSS, it's been a challenge, but Yvette has always been right there for us. With the front desk, she assures that our receptionists are providing great quality service to those persons that come in to visit with us. We certainly appreciate your time and your dedication to our agency as well, and all that you do. Thank
Matthew August. He couldn't make it this evening, but we want to remember him and thank him for his years of service of 10 years of dedicated service. So if you see him, please make mention to that, please. Sally Thompson, Environmental Health.
Come on down, Sally.
Sally says she's hot.
And to keep the speech, we can pick it up 3 notches, but that would be rude, so we don't want to slide anyone, but, and grateful appreciation presented to Sally Thompson, has given exceptional service and has obtained special recognition for 20 years of dedicated service on this 3rd day of April 2018. Who has the honors here?
Sally and I go back a long way, high school classmates, or since elementary school probably. We live right around the corner from each other. She started out with the Sheriff's Department 20 years ago, had a brief stint in the Planning and Environmental Health Departments for about a year. Then she decided she was going to go back to dispatch. And after a short stint of that again, she came back to the Planning Department. And this afternoon when we came to the courthouse, she went in the 911 call center. And I said, whatever you do, don't forget any ideas about it. But she said to keep it brief, so she's nice, she comes to work, and then she goes home. Wayne wanted to say something. Wayne had to say something about you too.
While she's doing that, you can do that. I just want to say, I said, so what do Sally's friends and coworkers have to say about her? I said that you're dependable, you're a can-do individual, hard worker, and excellent employee, and pretty much personification of all that's right in public service.
When I found out she was getting this award, I told her this morning, I said, Sally, I've got to say something about you tonight. Something nice about you at the commissioners meeting. I said, can you write something down?
Darlene Bowen. While Darlene's coming up, Angela Stanley wasn't able to come tonight. And we want to remember her 20 years again of dedicated service. So when you see her, please share that. We appreciate everything that she's ever done. Darlene Bowen. Grateful appreciation presented to Darlene Bowen, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 5 years of dedicated service on this 3rd day of April 2018. Again, we thank you for your 5 years.
Many of you know or have been to our Ag Services building. Ms. Darlene Bowen's primary area of assignment is the Ag Services building. We thank her for what she does down there. This year we've added some additional duties to several in the department, one of which she helps with the new law enforcement center. So we'd like to give Ms. Darlene thanks. She's here a lot of days when I'm sure she doesn't feel like being here. Some of you don't know Ms. Bowen suffers from some arthritis. But she's faithful to her call and works very hard for us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
Susan Guy. In grateful appreciation presented to Susan Guyton, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 5 years of dedicated service on this 3rd day of April 2018. It's an honor and pleasure to present this to you on behalf of all of the commissioners. We thank you for your 5 years of service.
Well, Susan is great
they may know her because she drives the busy bus. And that means that she goes out to daycare centers all over the county, and she takes books, and she also reads to the kids. So she's Miss Susan, and like I said, if you have kids in daycare, they may talk about Miss Susan coming to visit them. And not only does she do that, but she plans special programs at our main branch and also does story times at our 2 smaller branches each week. So she is creative and very organized, because I don't know how she knows where she's going on any given day. Because she could be in Tar Heel this day and then all the way towards council another day. She's all over the place. So I just have to say, Susan, where are you going today? She gives me a calendar, but it's hard to keep up with. So I just am thankful for her, and she's so flexible and helps us out in other areas where we need it, whether it's filling in branches or staying late. And so we really appreciate that. So thank you so much for all you do. Thank you.
Patty Young. You know, I'm still 25, but I watched her grow up. We went to church together. It's an honor to stand here beside her. In grateful appreciation presented to Patty Young, who has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 20 years of dedicated service. On this 3rd day of April 2018, Patty, it's an honor and pleasure to present this to you on behalf of all commissioners, and thank you for all your years of service.
All I think about this Patty is, she's very cheerful, she's always very polite, and when I call you, I try to be professional. I say, hey, this is Sheriff. Well, hey, Sheriff! That's where we get started on our conversation. She is an asset to our communication center, and these people are the backbone of the Bladen County Sheriff's Office, no doubt. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Mr. Gregory Bullard. In grateful appreciation presented to Mr. Gregory Bullard, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 10 years of dedicated service on this 3rd day of April 2018. On behalf of the commissioners again, sir, it's an honor and pleasure to present you this day. Thank you, sir.
This guy right here is just the opposite of Patty. He's all business. I knew Greg, we went through basic law, I was one of the instructors there, and I've known him throughout the years, ever since he's been in law enforcement. I've had the pleasure of working with him, we all work together, and this fellow right here is very dedicated to the citizens of this county, and God bless you for your service.
Sharon McDowell. In grateful appreciation presented to Sharon McDowell, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 10 years of dedicated service on this 3rd day of April 2018. Again, on behalf of all the commissioners, we thank you for all your years of service, and we look forward to many more. Thank you, Mr.
I tell you, I would like for all of us to walk 1 mile in this lady's shoes. These detention officers have a job that not many people in this room can do, including myself. She's got a lot of patience. She cares about the inmates because they're still human. And they do a good job, a wonderful job, and we're trying our best, Mr. Chairman, to get more help for them. So God bless you.
William Dove. No William Dove. There again, if you see William, commend him on 10 years of service. We appreciate everything that William does and will do in the future. Robert Grimes. Yep. Yeah. All right, good to see you. And grateful appreciation presented to Robert B. Grimes, has given exceptional service and has attained special recognition for 5 years of dedicated service on this third day of April 2018. Again, sir, it's an honor and a pleasure. On behalf of all the commissioners, we thank you for your interest and service. We hope you stay with us for a while longer.
I've known Robert long before he ever started working with the county water system. He's a dedicated employee. No matter if it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you call him and he's there, whether he's on call or not. He's committed and dedicated, and he's usually there before time of the morning to start work, and he's there however late it takes to get the job completed. I appreciate your dedication, Robert.
Miss Vicky, when she had a lady up here a while ago, and the lady was talking about wearing different hats and what have you. I tell you, we can appreciate those people. I'll never forget the first year I hired in with Kate Pressman. When Sammy Poole interviewed me and I went straight into personnel and human resources. He said, listen, this is your job. If you got time, throw any sweep and grab a broom and sweep. And, you know, it's all about the people we serve and the people that we look after, that depend on us as employees of the county. And as that being said, as a business owner myself now, I'm the maintenance man. I clean the bathroom so the employees can use it. I deliver furniture, I fix shoes, I fix jewelry, and whatever it takes to get the job done. And we appreciate those in the county that have that attitude to do whatever it takes to see that things gets done. And I can tell you something else, it's good job security because you learn more than one thing. But at this time, let's celebrate everything we've done in retirement and the years of service. And let's step next door for some refreshments, and we'll come back in here in 10 or 15 minutes. But those, after we have the refreshments, feel free to go home and enjoy your time. Thank you so much.